Hi, I'm VBTouray, and this is Makenna, the World Traveler Series, ready for an African safari by Esther Amunga Kemoli. Makenna, did someone say an African safari? Dedicated to Nima, my precious gemstone. Makenna was very excited when she woke up. Finally, she was going to meet her grandparents, cousins, aunts, and uncles in her parents' native Kenya, a country in the eastern part of Africa. "What time are we leaving?" she asked her mom. Makenna had been counting down the days on her calendar. "We still have 2 more days before we leave," replied her mom. Makenna gasped. "Oh no, I thought we were going to leave this evening." She could not believe she would have to wait another 2 days and 2 nights. Her mom went over to her and gave her a warm hug and told her not to worry. Soon, she would be on the plane ready to make the journey she had been waiting for all her life. "We need to finish packing our suitcases, and we also need to make sure that our house is clean, since we will be gone for a very long time." Mom suggested that Makenna go make some beautiful cards for her grandparents using the scrap paper and ribbon that was in the cabinet. This would help her pass the time as she waits. Makenna remembered that she had put aside some of the clothes that she had outgrown, and toys and books that she wanted to give her younger cousins and kids in the village. Makenna had a lot to accomplish in 2 days. She realized she needed to pack her swimsuit, sunscreen, sunglasses, since Kenya has great summer weather for the most part of the year. Makenna still had many questions about Kenya. That night, as she drifted off to sleep, she remembered her mother said that she would see lots of animals in Kenya, and this time the animals would not be in a zoo or on a petting farm. They would see the animals in the national park. Makenna tried to imagine how it would be to see zebras, giraffes, lions, elephants, crocodiles, flamingos, and many other animals in their natural habitat. She had learned some of the Swahili names of the animals: Simba, Mamba, Ndovu, and Pundamilia. Makenna had heard about the Giraffe Center and the David Sheldrick Wildlife Trust, a nice place where orphaned elephants were given a home after being rescued from poachers, and the Giraffe Center. She was looking forward to adopting a baby elephant through sponsorship and feeding giraffes with her brave and bare hands. Makenna had been told that her grandparents lived in the village and had many animals on their farm. They had cows, goats, sheep, chickens, turkeys, and rabbits. Unlike where she lived in Michigan, her grandparents did not have a barn to keep the animals. The animals slept in a pen. On Thursday afternoon, Makenna and her mom went to visit their neighbors. They wanted to say goodbye to them, and since they would not see each other in 2 months, she wanted to see them. Kyle and Kennedy Thompson had never been to Africa, but had watched movies about what it was like to go on a safari. The girls began chatting about some of the animals that could be found in an African national park. On their way out, Makenna overheard her mother telling Mrs. Thompson that she would bring her some Kenyan coffee, chai tea bags, and tea masala to spice it up. She told them that tea and coffee were grown on farms in Kenya. Have a safe trip. We cannot wait to hear the stories about your adventures when you return," said Mrs. Thompson. They all hugged and said goodbye. When Makenna arrived at her house, she found her dad munching on a mango. After giving him a big hug, she curiously asked, "Dad, are there mangoes in Kenya?" He smiled and said, "Of course. You'll find some of the sweetest mangoes in Kenya, since it is a country where many types of tropical fruit are grown." Makenna could not believe that she would soon eat all kinds of fruit. Makenna wondered what a tropical country was, but she first wanted to know what kind of mangoes she would eat in Kenya. Her dad explained that there are apple mangoes that grow in the eastern part of Kenya, yellowish mangoes that grow in the coastal region, and the mangoes with a dark green outer cover that grow in the highlands. Her dad added, "Did you know that there are also other fruits grown in Kenya, like pineapples, papayas, guavas, plums, avocados, tangerines, oranges, passion fruit, and small sweet bananas?" You'll learn the Swahili names of the fruits like maembe, machugu, ndimu, mapera, and indizi. Makenna thought about the fruit she ate daily, like watermelons, grapes, apples, and peaches. Did they grow in Africa? She would soon find out. It was a beautiful, warm, sunny day, so Makenna's dad suggested that instead of sitting indoors, it would be a good idea for them to go outside to play football in their backyard. "Why do you say football and not soccer?" she asked her dad. He simply smiled and said that he got used to referring to it that way since he grew up in Kenya and that is the term they used. He told her how difficult it was for village kids to get a proper ball to play soccer, so they would make one using recycled plastic bags just so that they could play the game. Makenna decided that she would carry a soccer ball for the village kids. "Dad, my teacher and some friends in my class are confused and wonder if Kenya is a city in Africa. Is Africa a country?" At this point, they were back in the house and her dad told her that he could explain using the globe that was on the shelf. Dange, her brother, placed the globe on the table. Her dad pointed to the map of Africa and told them that it was a continent, not a country. He showed them the 54 countries that were on this continent. Each country has its own system of government. Makenna could tell some of the names of the countries like Egypt, Somalia, South Africa, Nigeria, and Ghana. She would soon learn the names of the other countries. Dange excitedly pointed to the eastern part of Africa and identified Kenya. "That's where we're going," he exclaimed. Their dad showed them the route to their plane that it would take from Detroit in Michigan, USA, to Amsterdam in the Netherlands, Europe, and then to Kenya, Africa. Makenna thought about how long the journey would be. She would need to go to bed early so that she would be ready for that long trip the next day. The day had finally come for Makenna's first big trip to Africa. She got up and jumped out of bed hastily, made a dash for her suitcase, and dragged it down the stairs. It was dawn, but when she looked at the clock, it indicated that it was 5:30 a.m. "Why does the sun have to rise so early in the summer?" she whimpered. Their flight would be departing at 10:30 a.m. that day. She went back upstairs to wake everyone else. Dange was not happy at all when she nudged him to wake up. After breakfast, Makenna and Dange helped their parents load their luggage into the trunk of their family car. They had 10 large suitcases and 8 pieces of hand luggage altogether because they were carrying a lot of stuff to give to extended family, many relatives, and to friends of their parents. Makenna had also packed 1 suitcase of used storybooks that she and her brother had been collecting over the past year to be used in the community children's library that their mom had initiated in their village. Makenna found it difficult to imagine that children in rural parts of Africa and those in informal settlements did not have access to good, free public libraries like the ones she frequented in her city in the USA. She remembered how her mom had always taught her to be grateful for the many books that she had and use her privilege of living in the USA to be a blessing to disadvantaged or vulnerable kids so that she could make the world a better place. The Detroit airport was not strange to Makenna. The familiar sounds of planes and taking off made Makenna smile. In fact, she had the broadest smile because she loved to travel. She had been to this airport many times with her family when they made local and international flights. She recalled the states she had been to, but could not remember them all. She would have to write them down in her journal. She could only name Georgia, Kansas, Maryland, Massachusetts, Illinois, Ohio, and Indianapolis. But also she had Vancouver, Canada, fresh in her memory. This time around, Makenna would be making the longest trip since she was born, a 22-hour flight. Her eyes sparkled with glee when it was announced over the intercom that it was their turn to board the flight to Amsterdam. Makenna loudly remarked to everyone's amusement, "Africa, here we come." So I'm VBTouray, and you've just heard Makenna, the World Traveler Series, ready for an African safari, written by Esther Amunga Kemoli. Ask for it in your public library.